Assalamu alaikum guys, in this video we'll talk about middleware registration in Laravel 11 or later. The motivation behind this video actually is one of my first videos on this channel, or even my second video on my channel was about middleware registration until Laravel, but we know from Laravel 11 and later some structure has been changed. So now let's create a new middleware which we are to make middleware, and let's make it my middleware. Create it here, and I will dump middleware, right? And to use it in any route, we can use middleware directly, middleware method here, and we can say my middleware class. Let's refresh, and here middleware. We can use it for web also, right? If we want to register it globally inside our app in bootstrap folder, as we can see here, with middleware closure here, we can say middleware append to be executed as last middleware. I will say my middleware here class back and refresh. It will work for each middleware, even for web, even for API, right? If you want it to work only for web, we can say web, and if you want to work in the beginning, we can say prepend like this. Works. If you want to work in the end, we can say append here. Refresh. Let's remove it. Refresh. Right, it works in the end or as a last middleware for the web. If we open API, it will work without any middlewares. If you want it to work with APIs only, we can say API and refresh. Right, append or prepend. Again, works successfully. By default in Laravel, we know we have two groups, web and API. If you want to define your own middleware groups to use it as a bunch of middlewares, we can say here append to group, right? And by default we have web and API. If you want to create your own custom group, we can give it any name. My group, for example, my G, and I will use bunch of middlewares here as an array, and we can use it as middleware method, give it the name of the group, which is here in my global middleware or my group as a string. If we back and refresh again, works for API but doesn't work for web because I used it in this route. It's useful for maybe use this for active users as a middleware, and another middleware registered recently to our project as an example. If we open Laravel documentation also, by default, the web middleware comes with these default middlewares, and the API comes with these middlewares also group. If you want to remove any one of them while requests, we can use remove method. So for example, web here, web group, I want to remove any one of these middlewares, encrypt cookies as an example. Here, refresh, class, it will be neglected for web group. Refresh, works without any problem. If you want also to take it back to the old system, we can use group method here. So we can copy and completely remove it and put it here. Still works correctly. If we back and refresh, works fine, and API works also. Let's remove this in my middleware group, refresh, and works also. Our last tip, if you want to create aliases for middlewares, for example, we can say here middleware alias, right? It's an array, k maybe my mid for my middleware class, and I can use it as a string in my roots. I will back to API here, and I will say middleware my mid, back and refresh, middleware works successfully. So here is quickly how to register middleware in Laravel 11 or above. If you found it useful, support me by clicking on like, share and subscribe. See you next video.